PUAtraining.com.
Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I've got something very special because it's all about how to meet girls in bars and clubs. As you can see, we've taken over the whole nightclub, we've kicked out all of the guys and all of the ugly girls, and I'm going to be sharing my very best tips for how to go out to a bar, to a club and be successful with girls. So make sure you watch to the very end because I'm going to be sharing a lot of my favorite stuff. So here we are, I'm with my good friend Alex, and it's actually quite a realistic situation because the person I've been out most with to bars and clubs is this man right here, Alex. Now, we're very different to the average guys, but we see a lot of the average guys when they're out, and they tend to kind of stand like that, and they're kind of, you know, checking out where are the girls like that, looking around. They look quite creepy, they look quite bored, and if a girl walks past, they'll be kind of
like this, like
you know, plotting and scheming about how to talk to the girl. And that's, you know, maybe if she doesn't see it, you might think it's okay, but there's always other girls in the place. And even girls that are behind, they'll notice when guys are doing things that are very obvious. So me and Alex, we try and do things a little bit different and
stand out.
We're facing each other, we're talking, we're having fun, we're always smiling, we've always got a good vibe about us, we're joking, we might be making fun of people or something like that. Whatever it is, making jokes about different things, talking about what's going on. And if a girl is there, we don't pay too much attention to her. We notice her, but we don't pay too much attention. But we have this nice vibe between us. And what normally happens is when girls come and they're choosing a place to stand, they're not freaked out, you know, by us. So they're happy to kind of stand by us at the bar. So we're normally surrounded by a bunch of girls even before we start doing anything. So guys, bear that in mind when you come into a place and you're thinking about how to behave when you're with your friends. Okay, so what I want to demonstrate here is, you know, approachability of girls. So if a girl is single, she's going to behave in a certain way, and if she's got a boyfriend, she's a lesbian, or she's catching up with her friend that she hasn't seen for 10 years, she's going to behave a little bit differently. So these girls have positioned themselves close to the wall, so you can't kind of creep in there and talk to them. The girl on this side has her back turned, and there's very little space between them, and they're involved in a, you know, an intimate conversation. So they're difficult to talk to. Girls standing like this, like I said, are less easy to approach. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I'm going to show you how you could do it later. But if you're doing your first approach, if you're a little bit nervous, you probably want to start with something a little bit easier. At the other end of the scale, you've got girls that are kind of presenting themselves. They're more available. They're probably single. They want guys to talk to them, and they will be, you know, facing outwards. They'll still be talking to each other, but they'll be looking around. You know, a guy comes in there, a guy's walking there, and they'll kind of notice him. So they're aware of people in the room, they're looking out for new guys that are coming in, and they might hold eye contact, they might smile, and these would be the girls that would be more approachable. Like I said, it's up to you if you want to approach difficult girls or girls that are going to be more receptive, but start to be aware when you're kind of out and about, the girls that would be more and less approachable. So one of the pieces of advice that I always give to guys is they shouldn't just, you know, stand in the whole place, in the same place the whole night. That's because you want an opportunity to walk around the bar, the club, to get a chance to see all of the girls that might be there, that you might want to talk to. But also, when you're walking around, you have lots of opportunities to start interactions. When you're passing someone, it's a natural situation to just notice something, to start a conversation, to cheers with them or whatever. And too many guys that I've been out with that haven't had, you know, lots of training, they walk, when they're in a place, they walk very quickly, like they've got to get somewhere. So there's the pretty girls there, but they'll be walking through and they're just looking down or they're looking ahead, and they walk at such a pace that they don't have a chance to spark any situations with the girls. So even if they walk through and a girl was smiling at them and they might say, oh, I think that girl liked me, but the time it's happened, he's already way past. So it sounds really, really simple, but one of the major pieces of advice that I give guys is that when they're walking around a bar or a club, they walk slowly and they make eye contact with everyone. So they've got some time to catch the eyes of a girl, and they're judging just from that few seconds of eye contact. You know, is she smiling? Is she receptive? Is she interested? If you have eye contact and immediately she looks away, it's a big difference to if you have that eye contact and she maybe smiles and she's a little bit shy, or she just holds the eye contact and smiles. If you've got one of those situations and you're walking slowly and you're getting that good eye contact, you could just say cheers, or you could just step in and say, hey, how's it going? And you can say, oh, cool iPhone case, look at this, and have a look at that. And you know, you find something that you can start the interaction with. If you're just racing around, you don't have the opportunity to do that. So very small point, but it should double the amount of, you know, attention and IOIs that you get if you just walk around smoothly and try and make eye contact with everyone as you walk through the bar. You're not holding it for long because you're walking and you're breaking it from one girl to the next, breaking to the side, so it doesn't look nervous even when you break eye contact. I always like to start an interaction where possible from a distance and non-verbally. It gives the chance to get an honest reaction from the girl, and it also deals with situations very well where you're not sure. You know, there's a girl or maybe two girls and there's a guy, and you're not sure if they're together, or there's a group of girls and you don't want to bust in there. And in situations like that, it's always good to start non-verbally. So I will try and get the attention of the girl, and once I've got her attention, I'll raise my drink like that. And if I haven't got a drink, you know, I might wave or something like that, or I might just look at her in a way that generates a response, and I'm looking for a smile. If she smiles, I've then got the opportunity to go around and talk to her. If she's shy, you know, I can judge it like that. And if she's, you know, with this guy and she's got a boyfriend, then I'll know from her response, because she'll be a little bit like, oh, you know, I don't want my boyfriend to see me looking at this guy, so I'm going to look away. So you can tell a lot just from, you know, provoking that response without going all the way around to the other side of the bar and busting in on, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that are in a group. One of the things that I use to start interactions with girls is actually opening with a touch. And when girls are in this situation at a bar, a lot of guys, you know, freak girls out. They can sometimes come like this, hello, hello, like that. And it's horrible. It doesn't feel nice when someone, hello, hello. Girls never like it. Or the guy kind of comes in, girls, and it's too close, it's too intense. So not a good way to do it. The way I would do it in this situation is to come in, and I'm going to use a very gentle touch on the shoulder. So I'm going to touch like here and say, hey guys, and then step back. So I come close and then step back. And the touch is very gentle. It's kind of a guiding touch, and it's the kind of touch your friend does, you know, when, you know, he goes away and then comes back and he kind of touches you gently on the shoulder just to say he's there. So you can even do this. So when the girls are facing away, and you can come in and you could say something like, hey Maria, oh sorry, I thought you were my friend Maria. Anyway, I'm Richard, nice to meet you, like this. And you can use that because it's a very familiar touch, the kind of touch that a friend would do. It's a very light hand, barely touching, barely any weight, but she turns around with it because she feels it. And it's something that is a familiar touch in our lives that friends only do with us. So you can try that, it's opening with a touch. Right, so we've got some girls dancing now, not very enthusiastically, but you get the point. And if girls are on the dance floor, you know, how do you approach them? So I'm chilling here, and the first thing that I would try and do, look like I'm enjoying dancing. So I can't kind of come to the girls like this and kind of creep in and I'm not enjoying the music. I need to kind of match their mood. So the DJ's here and I'm kind of facing the DJ and I'm dancing like this as well. And then what I want to do is I want to get some girls' attention while I'm dancing. So if I'm interested in this girl, I want to be dancing, and then I kind of want to look and get her attention like that and have some non-verbal communication with her to start with. And then I would go back to dancing like this. If it was this girl, I would want to be kind of facing over there, just dancing, but after a little while, I'm kind of just get her attention for a second and go back to dancing like that. And again, I'm looking for that response. You've got those few seconds where she can smile or she can just look away in disgust. You know, usually it's something more in the middle towards the positive, but you're going to be dancing close to them, not focusing on them at all, not trying to be creepy and be close to them without enjoying the music, but trying to match their mood. And that's the first step. The second thing is that once you've got the positive response, you might want to come in and just say, "Hey, I'm Richard," and introduce yourself like that, "What's your name?" and like that, and just a very quick interaction, take their name, and then go back and be dancing from a distance, but more facing each other. And you want to see if she turns away from her friends a little bit and she starts to face you, and if she does, that's a good sign. But you haven't kept the pressure on, you're not trying to have a conversation on the dance floor, shouting, where you can't hear each other. You're just dancing like that, and you're looking for the eye contact, you're looking for that she's facing you, and then again you can come in and you can say something a little bit, but better if you can just start dancing with her a little bit. And the way I would do it is I'd get closer and be dancing, and then I'd just present my hands like this, and I'm looking for her to take them, and then we just do this silly dance. So obviously you won't have my amazing dance moves, but you should be able to do something like this. A lot of girls like it when you spin them, so you can work that into it, where you just lift your hand up, and most girls know how to do it, and then you can go back to doing this. You don't want to let things get too intense, so you might let her hands drop again and go back to just dancing at a distance, and then after a little while you can come back in again and you can start dancing again like this. And then once she's comfortable with you, this is something you wouldn't do immediately, but after a little while you can take your hand and put it just at the back of her elbow and pull her hand so that she takes you here and you take her here, and now you're dancing much closer and much more intimately. When you're in a club and the music is pumping really hard, normally the dancing is quite fast, the dance floor is really noisy, so you have a few choices. At this stage, when you're kind of you've got a good connection with the girl and she's liking you, you can wait for the right moment. So girls are in heels, they get tired when they're dancing for too long. Also sometimes the music changed and the track's not good, so you're kind of dancing and you're like, "Oh no, I hate this track. Let's go get a drink," and you say, "Let's go somewhere, let's go get a drink, let's go and smoke," and then you've got an opportunity to move her away from the dance floor to somewhere that is not so noisy, where you can have a conversation. If you stay on the dance floor, like I said, you start like this, you can get closer, you've got this eye contact, it can be nice and seductive, and you've got the opportunity to escalate from that point. If she's with her friends, her friends might interrupt at some time, but you can always dance, join the group and be kind of with them and dancing together with them. That'll be fine if you're with a friend as well. But it's always good to start things non-verbally from a distance, smoothly come in, back off a bit, come in some more, sense how things are going, and then suggest you leave the dance floor or join the friends, stay there for a bit, escalate on the dance floor. Lots of different options, but the whole thing is not to have too much communication, keep it non-verbal, maybe just exchange names and nothing else, and wait until you go somewhere more quiet to continue the conversation. So something to remember is that girls always like to laugh and have fun, and there's not enough fun when they go out to bars and clubs. And Alex has some moves that always make them laugh and make them smile. He does this Michael Jackson thing and he shows girls that, and he does this twerking thing when he does that into them. And when he does this stuff, the girls always laugh, they respond well, and then he can just introduce himself. So if I'm walking, yeah, he does this, and the electrocution one you do as well. And the one where you actually get electrocuted. Bzzz, like that, he's getting electrocuted. So Alex,
not in reality getting electrocuted.
Alex has all these moves where he's walking through, the music's playing, the girls are dancing, and then he's got 5, 10, 20 different moves that he will do when the girls are dancing, having fun, that makes them smile and react well, and then right after that he turns deadly serious and introduces himself and has a conversation, and then starts being funny again. But remember, people want to be fun, so try stupid stuff. If it makes you smile and your friends laugh, then it's going to be something that would probably work on girls.
Right guys, so that is part 1 of my night game system. In a few days after the upload date, you're going to see, probably on the right, a link to the second part, and I encourage you to watch it. Now you might have noticed that in this video we really upped the production for it, and I hope you really enjoyed the visuals, and I hope you got a lot out of the content. Now you might know already, but I'm known as one of the guys that is the absolute best at performing and teaching night game. And if you're interested in delving deep into this area, really becoming as good as possible, you can't do better than to check out my stealth attraction system. So I'm going to put a link to it in the description. Maybe if I can figure it out, put one on screen as well. And if you click it, you'll get all the information about this product. It's not free, it's a paid product, but if you're very serious and you want to be the best that you possibly can be, you'll want this program that is about 3 hours long and has some bonuses that are around 4 hours long. So go ahead and click and go and check that out. Otherwise, I'll see you in part 2 of the video.
PUA training.